This video brought to you by Morphin Network is sponsored by Ranger Stock Convention, which is November 13th to the 15th, 2020 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstoporlando.com for more info. Good afternoon, LA, and everyone else around the United States. Good morning to people in New Zealand. Mr. John Tui, gotta ask, it's now tradition now. How's quarantine like?
Yeah, man, we're in level 2 at the moment. I think we're going to be going into level 1 in a few days. So our country's, we shut it down as soon as we got the first case. And I really am proud to be a Kiwi, and the leadership here was awesome. So yeah, hey, morning everybody from New Zealand. Thank you for having me on. So proud to be here, man. You guys quarterback this interview.
Yeah.
Chop.
So let's guys. Well, before we start, guys, again, for people out there doing these current events who are suffering and like during this pandemic and also these current events, we all love you and please stay safe out there. All right, guys.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, and what a time. To be here and witness all this happening, I'm very. It's so necessary, and I'm so honored to be part of it. A big shout out to the African community out there. We love you, and we support you all the way from New Zealand. So, from a Power Ranger, we need that Power Ranger love and leadership in these moments. So, one love to everybody, and
awesome.
Black Lives Matter. Don't forget, hard out, man.
Awesome. All right, guys. So let's just start the interview. So, Mr. Tui, can you tell us about yourself?
I'm a proud son of Tongan immigrants that immigrated here in the 70s. I was born, raised in New Zealand. I love being a Kiwi. I enjoy acting, and if it wasn't for my career choice and my passion in this field, I wouldn't have been part of this huge Power Ranger world and movement. I've been doing this professionally, actually, for about 15 to 17 years in terms of the jobs that I've done. But I was introduced. I auditioned for Power Rangers back in 2004 during the SPD season, and I played Annubis Doggy Kruger, Shadow Ranger. And in 2005, I had the privilege and honor of being casted again as another mentor in the form of Daggeron, Solaris Knight, Mystic Force. So here we are, gentlemen. Thank you for having me on board.
John, how did you get started with acting in the first place?
Dude, I loved it, man, when I was a kid. It was just something, it started with like TV, I think, at first. And I remember being young and watching TV in black. That's how old I am. 45 in 5 more days. So back in the early 80s, late 70s, TV in New Zealand was still black and white. Some TVs, I grew up poor, bro. And it taught me a lot in terms of appreciating the little things, especially the materialistic things that we got in our family. So watching TV, I watched shows like $1 Billion Man, Dukes of Hazzard, even and New Zealand wasn't as influenced by America as it was from Europe mostly. But as we came into the 80s, we started getting McDonald's. The franchises here started getting bigger, and we got more programs. I grew up on Hawaii Five-0. I grew up during the Jim Henson time when we didn't watch much animation. It was Muppets. So when I went in my primary school, which is elementary school, I participated a lot in performing arts stuff. We did folk dancing. I always was drawn to it. I was always like the only Polynesian in a lot of the productions that we had, and it wasn't me trying to stand out as being a Polynesian, but it was something I identified with. I started noticing it. But my people are used to performing, in our cultural, in our dance, in our the way that we worship, and the way we sing. Our arts, we do it naturally. So it was me having to convince my parents that it was a life choice that I'd like to pursue and to do it professionally. But as being the oldest of 9 and being son of immigrants, their dreams of raising their kids in a country to be successful as doctors, lawyers, was always something that was always put on us. But like I said, I got the bug early, man. And then I started joining choirs. And intermediate, when I was like 11, I was cast as a lead role in my intermediate school productions. And when I got to high school, I joined musicals and performances and stuff. And even though I was enjoying playing rugby, and the two were very separate, enjoying performing arts and then playing a real, in New Zealand, rugby is like football worship. It's massive here. It defines our country. We have the best rugby team in the planet, I feel, this is my opinion. Growing up, I always was drawn to it. I always loved performing. It was just a matter of making it something that I could use to provide my future with. You know what I mean? Because some people come into acting because they're maybe chasing fame or I don't know what their motivation is. But for me, it was career. It was because this is a tough industry, man. So, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about that.
Definitely.
Yeah, so Power Rangers was my first big international gig. So I came out of drama school, did a 3-year degree to learn many things about the craft of acting, not just going out there chasing likes and comments, but actually making a living. I was inspired by a lot of actors growing up, from Al Pacino, Jack Nicholson. Look at Dwayne Johnson and his success is very inspiring. But Marlon Brando was one of my first full-time actors. I was just stunned with how they performed on screen. And so Power Rangers was my first. I was jobless for two years, man. I was auditioning, not getting any gigs when I left drama school. So I think the hardest thing is taking these knocks. When these doors close on these young people going out there and auditioning, it's not to not take it personal. To understand that this is the life thing, to go in and you pour your soul into your performances, you memorize your lines, go in there, you empty the tank, and then sometimes you don't get a call back, sometimes you do. But understanding that it's not a permanent and solid occupation. For every superstar that we see out there are hundreds of thousands of people that have given up. A lot of people give it a time limit. They get acting, they get their hearts broken, they can't pick themselves up. They can't manage their time, or they're doing something different and their passion's not involved, and then they just moonwalk out of it, It's not for the faint of heart what we do, because you're told you're not tall enough, pretty enough, you're not lean enough, you don't sound this way, blah, 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 blah. So you got to have a very tough attitude and strong acceptance of yourself to know that maybe you're enough, and don't base or validate people's opinions on how you feel about yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Definitely.
Anytime now, boys, I can keep going.
No. I also was gonna ask.
Dropping diamonds here, boys. Dropping pearls. What's happening?
No, it's all good. I was gonna ask, as you said, you grew up on 70s and 80s shows. Did you watch like MacGyver? Did you watch
all of that, bro? We never, I like the Jeffersons. We never got, bro, until I started studying film and TV. Then I started getting into that and seeing, but American culture has influenced us in a massive way when it comes to entertainment, And I think when you're an actor here and you're trying to carve a career out of what you can get in New Zealand, it's like every time an American or a British production comes to New Zealand to film, a lot of us actors, we get excited because hopefully we'll get cast. And I know we're going to touch on this later, but Battleship changed my life in terms of film and TV, but Power Rangers was and we never got it in New Zealand. Like when I booked the contract, we shot it out in Henderson, out in West Auckland, and no one in New Zealand watched it. So it was weird doing this massive show. And I remember traveling over to the States, over to Australia, bro, and then people were like, "Oh man, you're from Power Rangers," and I was like, "Wow, that's cool." It's trippy, And I think America worship celebrities on a different level, bro. You're Hollywood, man. That's tinsel time to us. That tripped me out. Coming off doing auditioning and booking auditions, bro. Booking commercials, booking these commercials, food commercials, whatever. Just making ends meet, and then I auditioned for SPD, Doggy, Kruger. And at that time, I've been like working out. I was lean. I was a dish in my 30s, gentlemen. I'm pretty lean. I'm in late 20s. I think about 30. And I had to wear the suit. I wasn't singing. So my ego had to change, and then start thinking about just doing this performance, making my voice right. So I tried to be as versatile and as complete as I can be. I mean, it's I not only have to break the barrier of how I look as a Polynesian heavy set. You know what I mean? It's I've got to have my hand on more jars to be as versatile as I can be, and that's just my choice as a craftsman, as an actor, as a profession. The more versatile I think a person can be, gets them more work than just. Otherwise, our industry would just be taken over by models. I mean, these good-looking people have to bear a soul where we watch them on screen and we feel them, we see their emotions, and we relate. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, Doggy Kruger, bro. Do you want to go? What was the next question? We'll get there. So, okay, well, now we're here at number 3. I've got it here. So on the audition process, right? So
he's doing your job for you, Ryan.
I know.
I'm saying the process. I went in and I'd worn this tight top, and it's like I just wanted them to see, oh man, Power Ranger ready, man. And when I got there, they were like, oh, I had the lines memorized and stuff, and I think I gave them a southern name. I'm not sure because the audition might come up and I might be telling tales. But when I got there, they gave me they told me how to stand where I was and where I was going to deliver this the audition to, and who Doggy was in their eyes. So I was just like, okay, so I just recalibrated my audition to accommodate what their direction was, and I think that's what being as an actor, another skill is to be able to take direction, because you might have rehearsed your lines a certain way, wanted to hit certain marks and certain sentences, and stand there with your hero stance, and then they might give you a different direction and say, we want you to do it this way. Could you ease up on here? And you're sitting there, and if you're not prepared or you're not ready to, you feel, it's a confidence thing. They can give you a direction. It's totally in contrast with how you rehearsed it. Some people can make that adjustment on the spot and give the director and the audition what, and some will just duplicate the same performance, make it sound different. There's no connection. The panic sets in. They start to doubt themselves. My one was like, I had everything sorted. I looked great. I felt great, confident. And then they gave me a paper bag, bro. And I was like, what's this for? And they're like, you're gonna wear this. You're gonna deliver the lines, and you're gonna stand this because you're going to be in this costume with this dog's head. And I'm like. I took it, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what the hell is this? What the heck? They don't see the moneymaker? What? They don't want to see the moneymaker? I was thinking maybe they put some prosthetics on or something, but nah, bro.
Pull this back.
And yeah, man. But you know what? Psychologically, it made me go in. I had to get over myself and then just, I'm going to win this. I want this. And I'm going to do exactly what I want. To a point where I feel it doesn't question any ethics or anything. I was sitting there and I moved. I gave him weight. I think one of the things they explained to me is like the Sphinx, the Egyptian god, like the dog. And I just felt the weight of him coming. It was only later that I started. I remember watching when I was in drama school. I watched Patton because I went through this one 1 month of just watching every Best Picture from 1970 all the way to the year that I started watching. So and I remember Patton. So I based Doggy Kruger on General Patton. I wanted him to be weighted, firm, not just a deep voice, and the change in playing Doggy Kruger through the series, I had to change him and make him more subtle once he discovered that his wife was alive, because when it cuts back to his story about the guilt that this mentor carried as a, he's like a general, but he carried this guilt that he thought he wasn't there to protect his wife and his men. It's like, it's a massive story in the series. He wasn't there to protect the woman Isinia, his wife, and he watched his men die, and that's a huge weight to carry on a man who leads an army. So later in the series, when he comes back, I started giving the character more human emotions, made him lighter. He had more of a sense of humor. He could joke, And even though I was wearing the mask and the puppet head, the mechanical head and the big trench coat, I tried to, through my physicality, soften the performance. So they started saying that he wasn't just a hard shell; that he was a layered leader, And you could see his relationship changing. And that's showing appreciation to the writing at the time. I thought it was a good series to do. Yeah, very proud. That was my filming experience with Matt.
I let her.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because looking back, it's a lot of mentors in Power Rangers don't really get that type of character development. And to see, rewatching SPD, it's like Annubis Kruger was the last of his kind, kayfabe, until he found his wife was still alive. So, it's really interesting on how the writers took his character, and he went from being a tragic character to finally getting the dude who said, "Oh, I killed your wife," and cut his horn off. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Speaking of the Power Rangers, because of the fact that you were on not just SPD and Power Rangers Samurai, what was the experience like filming both seasons of Power Rangers?
Awesome. Because I didn't know. For me, it was just work, and I had such a great time. I enjoyed the pay. I enjoyed working on it. That when an opportunity came up to go in the second season, I was already seasoned from the first, and also because I wasn't seen, I felt like there was some unfinished business for me as an actor. My own personal ego. And forgive me, but that's I wanted to be seen. I wanted to. There are people that I've stood on the shoulders of that have helped me get through my career, that I wanted to pay them back by showing them that I'm exactly where I should be. Their faith and their trust, and that's my family, my parents, my siblings, my in-laws, everyone. I wanted, so to be able to do that in my second season, it was awesome. And I had a son at the time, so it changed me. It changed me, man. I think your child changes you. And then I got casted as Daggeron, Solaris. So I came in, I was overweight when I auditioned, because I got comfortable back after the first season. We had money, and then I was cooking as much. I just was eating a lot, and then the audition came, and they were like, "Man, it'd be good. John could play this," because I had a strong Kiwi accent, whereas I played Daggeron, Doggy Kruger, and I had a standard Californian accent, And even though when I listened to it, he was still shabby. But I think I made up for it in terms of the presence and the way I just made Doggy just monotone throughout the whole thing, so I didn't have to click into an accent dialect to be too strict. They were just like, "Oh, this dude is heavy. He's bad." That growl. I gave him animalistic tones, bro. And I love wolves. That's why you don't see wolves in the circus, bro. Even though lions and tigers are tougher, but you don't see wolves in the circus. They are honorable animals. So Doggy to me just carried all of that. And it's an acting technique that's used in terms of animals. And I'm wearing, Yeah, I gave him a lot of weight. So coming on to doing Solaris Night, I based, when I did the audition, I said, "Can I do him in a Kiwi accent?" And they were like, "Yeah," but I still carried a bit of Doggy in it. If you listen to the second season, I think Daggeron's accent's all over the place, but his bass is very Kiwi. I based him on Russell Crowe's performance on Gladiator.
Yes.
When he played Maximus, and there was it was just a very, and his story was funny because before that I was kind of depleted. I lost 20 kilos in 7 weeks, which is about 38 pounds or something. And I trained hard. I started dieting, trained hard, And then when so it was a different look. I tried to change his walk so he wasn't so mechanical and stiff, like as Doggy Kruger was in the costume. And that's Solaris Knight. He was very different. His story, he's like a broken leader, but he was younger. He was actually young. So, and the premise is kind of similar, where he felt he wasn't there to protect his friend and his mentor, Leandro. You know what I mean? So he felt obligated to help Udonna and mentor these Power Rangers into becoming, their father role. It's very similar to Doggy Kruger, because even though they're tough and they're both hard mentors, they love the cadets. They love the Rangers, And you could always see the traits of Red Ranger and Blue Ranger. They have a rivalry, but then they support each other. There's Red Ranger has to go through, and I'd seen like 3 Power Rangers when I was there, sets of Power Rangers, so I know the energy and the challenges that Red Ranger has to go through, to doubt themselves. They don't want the leadership, but they have to be the leader, then they become the leader. It's like the blueprint to every season, man, and it's so awesome to watch it because we invest a lot of we can relate to every Ranger, right? All 5 have qualities that we have. So it's beautiful to watch because you become like a fan. So in Solaris Knight, when I was playing Solaris Knight, I was like, it was like an older brother, but uncle. Like I was that caring uncle until, and literally until they find out that Liambo's Nick's dad, and then you're like, wow. Yeah, it was great. And the difference between the two was SPD was set like a space, you know what I mean? It was the technology was different, whereas Mystic Force, the very Harry Potterish, the influence of magic through it, the powers were very different, And lucky for me, I got to work on a franchise that I was in love with when I was at the drama school, Lord of the Rings, Go on the Hobbit and experience that. Name drop.
Yeah, what I like about your season was I am a huge Harry Potter fan, as you can see him like Harry Potter stuff.
It's scary how huge of a Harry Potter fan he is. So
yeah, like I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like when I found out like Power Rangers had a magic season, I was like, oh shoot, like oh my god, like they're actually doing it, a magic season. Plus you had capes. That was cool. So
yeah.
So Mystic Force.
You can see what's in at the time. I think the writers and they've got a great team that can sense what's out there and create these stories. It's like, when you do TV and film long enough, you see the process. And, it's a team of writers, man. You get together and they're like, flesh these characters out. I came into Mystic Force halfway through the season, So when they started filming and I was auditioning, I knew I was part of something special. And I've made friendships on both that I've still kept in contact with, especially from first Mystic Force. I still have close relationships with them. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Great time.
Speaking of your cast, do you have any fun behind the scene moments with your cast? Or
do I have any behind the scene moments?
Yeah.
Man, heaps.
Any pranks, any stuff? That you
always pranks. It was just hard for me to stay away from the crafts table, man. Like there always a snack table there, and I knew I was putting on weight when the costume doesn't fit right. Because like halfway through, we were shooting, like we'll break for like 2 weeks to go on holiday, and I just got to keep my diet. I always slip up. You come back and you put that. Oh, damn. Costumes changed. One story. Well, I mean, the one that I was at RangerCon in Orlando last year in November, and it was my first time ever making contact or touching base with my Power Ranger fan base, because I've been pretty slack, man. But I've been working and busy, and I was very humbled to go to Orlando and see these fans and talk to them. So it was really interesting, and I had this one panel, and I got to talk about one of my episodes. So in SPD, we were filming this one day, and we had an electrical problem that caught on fire, bro. And I was in the dog costume, and it was about like 12 kilos, bro, the head, and then the eyes were operated by remote control, as 2004 2004, summer of 2003, 2004.
No.
And so the mouth was operated by, and it was hot, man. Middle of summer. I was wearing these like football pads, leather jacket, man, with these like massive ski boots that were made into paws. And then after that, then I had this black coat, and then I would put the head on. And it was, about 12, 15 kilos this head, mechanical, and it was heavy. And it would rest on my, and then, all I could see was through this gap of his teeth. So you'll see, Doggy Kruger would always talk like that, but there's me trying to see where the actors were. We'd block it, rehearse, and then like, Tui's got to get rigged. So I go off, they put me in, and then we come out. So every time we stop a scene, they put this air blaster in, and because they had a fan in there, but it wasn't doing much. It was hot as, bro. Like, I was just losing weight from sweating. Anyway. Oh, bro, this courier dude just pulled up. He's at my door. 1 second. 1 second. All right, cool, man.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box? One of the takes, I was sitting there and they were getting set up. So sometimes I'll take it off, but it's just it's too much of a hassle, bro, to just unplugging. So sometimes I'll sit there, I'll have my man there just feeding me air so it's cool, I'm just sitting there sweating. And then I could smell smoke, and smoke started rising, and I couldn't, smoke started rising, I could see it coming out and then out the mouth, and I was sitting there like, man. And then it started getting hot on my right shoulder blade back. I was like, man, is this smoke in here? Anyway, it started smelling like burnt wire, burnt plastic, and then that's when I knew something was because there's so much electronic things plugged in, and there's a little fire at the back. But it was, the panic was real, man. It was cracking me up because there's nothing I could do. It's like having something burning in your visor, and you're just like, oh, and nowhere to run. It's right there. So I just told them, and they rigged me real fast, but it was hot, man. I had a little red burn on the back, but sweet as, bro. Yeah, it was all right. That was one story, but like I remember everyone panicking, and I was just like, if I jumped on board with that, it would just change the tone. So we got that done, but that's our attitude down here. Just get on with it. Do it right.
Definitely.
As long as I'm not cooking, baby.
Hey, at least you didn't turn into a character from Five Nights at Freddy's, so that's good.
Yeah, definitely. Now, going forward to your question, do you ever see the franchise growing this big? The Power Ranger franchise.
Man, like I said, I was re-educated last year. I think New Zealand, we had Power Rangers in 1995 or 1996. We had a season of it, yeah. And then they took it off because they said the violence was a bit hardcore, but we were watching WWF wrestling at the time, so it was like ironic how that when a lot of kids were hurting themselves on trampolines doing so-called Power Ranger moves, but wrestling as well. Unless you got like Sky and you watched it on the kids program or something, but we never had Power Rangers here. I'd only known, like, I'd make trips to the States to do other projects and stuff, and it was on those trips I started, like, people were going, hey, you're a Power Ranger. Wow, it's really? Trying to, oh, really? You caught that performance? Nah. It's humbling, man. It's humbling. But I didn't know it was going to be this big. I think I've come to see a lot of the diversity within the Power Ranger fan bases, from people of all races, all sexuality, people of it's unifying in its spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, it's massive. It teaches such a great story, even though it's like the violence isn't even like violent. Like, I've seen and I've acted in violent movies. It's a stylistic dance. But for children to watch it and go, the message is strong. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to fight the bully no matter what. You have to respect your friends. You have to be there for them. You have to listen to the people that care for you, who offer you leadership. There are these themes that are massive for it. And, like, to be honest, man, like, when I finished Power Rangers, my career went onto TV and back to commercials. I still have my dual life, providing as a father and as a husband. I'm still the quarterback of my family, and I haven't come back to the Rangers fandom or that in ages. And I used to get mail and stuff, and I never nurtured it, man. I was always climbing the mountain, man, getting this work in to try to get this career off. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, a lot of actors I know, like the longevity of being in this career is based on you constantly booking gigs. So it's easy, the amount, when I was in Hollywood, man, I freaked out at like my mates would be working on constructions or running their own restaurants and stuff, and I'd go hang out with these fellas, whether it's in New Orleans or mainly Hollywood or LA, and everyone there's had an acting stunt. They've got an acting story of an audition that they did or what commercial they were in. And I was just sitting there going, man, it put me off wanting to move to Hollywood. So I was just thinking, if it's meant to be, then I'll just keep putting auditions on tape then. I mean, I haven't seen anyone out there that sounds like me or looks like me. I'll just market me and stay in my lane and just see what the tricks for, The fact that they casted an ethnic Daggeron in that season, for me, was fantastic. I thought it was all, as a Polynesian, bro. And, like when you look at Polynesians out there in the industry, like Dwayne is the guy, but there's a massive gap of others that are, got Cliff Curtis, that are making movies or TV on that level, So that's when I knew this was something different, like it's for everyone. I met people from different disabilities and abilities at the Ranger Con. I talked to people with different races, different socio classes, like it caters to everyone. Whatever color or whatever character you relate to, there's something in it for everybody. I sound like I'm trying to market something. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean, bro?
Outside of Power Rangers, John, you transitioned from the small screen to the silver screen. You've already said you've been in Battleship. You've been in the Hobbit series. You were a character you were Korg in Star Wars, the Han Solo movie, the Han Solo spinoff. You were in Hobbs and Shaw. So my question is, what is the most memorable film or TV project that you have ever done?
All of everything that I've done has a memory, so I can't categorize it as memorable. There are moments, bro. Like for example, Battleship gave me my first big movie international experience, like, on a massive scale. With meeting Rihanna and the speed of how it happened, from doing a TV series here in New Zealand. Then 2 weeks I was on a business class flight to Hawaii. I was on this barge. I'm on this boat alone with Rihanna and Taylor Kitsch, and we're out in the ocean looking at an imaginary alien ship. The psychological change and impact that it had on me was massive. Like,
I meant Corso. My bad.
Sorry.
I'll say I was correct myself. You were Corso and Han Solo. My bad.
Corso, yeah. When I was Corso. Yeah. So that experience, seeing big, some of these stars, like Liam Neeson as an actor, I was stunned to be working with him. And then to know how my children, a lot of my younger students, loved Rihanna, and seeing her rise in the pop culture of music, to see her in real life was amazing. Because it all started for me in New Zealand as a teenager, as a kid, then seeing people from Shortland Street, which is a TV series here, and going, oh my God, that's an actor. But you realize when you're around, when I got to some of these big Hollywood sets, that people are people first and foremost, right? Like, I get how they do, but they sweat, they perspire, they're like the rest of us, So when I peel the curtain back, I see them for the souls that they are. So when I was around these big stars, I learned a lot, man, about their process and how they work things, how they are as people. I was amazed at the admiration that they had from the public. I've never seen traffic stop for a person, bro. Never been on a red carpet to see the interviewing, to know how to do photo shoots, to go through the process of all this, because all I can control is what I do on the set. And that's where I find my point of difference from a lot of other performers. We all have our process. You know what I mean? Like Yeah, man. So Battleship gave me that. Another, another memorable thing was solo Star Wars. Man. Like, to be there in London, dude. This career has taken me around the world, and I'm so grateful for it. And yeah, to meet Woody Harrelson, man, like that's my dude. Tandy Newton, and when I met her on set, and I was trying my hardest not to be a fanboy. I mean, like just waiting for my moment to just be there, standing, waiting for Ron Howard to give us direction, and then just so Tandy. So like working with my our Black Prince Tupac, man. What's up? Because I'm a fan, I saw you on Gridlock, and then I've been waiting to ask you that for I was there for over a month and nearly 2 months, bro. And I'd waited for that time. I was like, Tupac, man. And she was just like, oh yeah. She told me some stuff I can't tell you, but she was just man. She was just I love working with them, and I'm just I get the whole in awe of experience of being around some celebrities, but I've been raised by a good man, good parents. I try to be courteous when I'm talking to them, but when you're an actor and you're working with these people and with these other actors, you're not a fanboy. You're a professional. You're working with them. You're playing a character and do the job and do it well. So you're hired again, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
Star Wars taught me that. And also with Star Wars, I got to work at Pinewood Studios where they shot Aliens. And Aliens was one of my favorite action sci-fi movies, period, bro. I remember I better get arrested for this. So I snuck into the theater to watch it, and it was RP-16, but I was like 12, 13 with my older cousin. Oh, that movie just was awesome. It was awesome. There are some movies I've gone, that's why we go to the movies, sit down and be in awe. Power Rangers, did you watch the Power Ranger movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
It revived it for me. Like I was just like, man, now for me it was always a TV Disney program about the Japanese stuff. Because when I was working on SPD, I got to work with the stuntmen that were Japanese, and some of they were just amazing. Because as soon as I morphed, you ain't seeing 120 kilos try to get into that leotard, and then my double comes in and starts doing those flips, and I'm like, boom, Shadow Ranger, and I walk off. But yeah, man, awesome. So many memories. A Hobbit, I got to work with Peter Jackson. Like it was a dream come true. Because Lord of the Rings, man, that. You go to the movies to get transported, and I love Lord of the Rings, and I wanted to work on it. I was a proud Kiwi, and I never got that chance when Hobbit came around. I was so grateful to work on that. And that character was I had to take on someone else's work and then make it mine at the same time. And a lot of the imagination comes into play when you're doing mocap, because you see Andy Serkis do it, and he playing Gollum and then playing Caesar, and you transform once you put on the dotted leotard and the head mask and the mocap equipment. You morph it's like physical theater, and I really loved that. It was awesome. A lot of memorable moments and some big movies, man. Yeah. Grateful.
Now going back to Power Rangers. So now, where do you see your characters, Doggy, Kruger, and Daggeron doing right now in the current Power Rangers timeline? Doing right now.
Man, I feel Doggy Kruger is with the senior, and they have 100 puppies. But he's still in service. No. He's still in service, and he's. I think he's just going to keep raising the next cadets that go through the SPD program. I could see him there. The cool thing was with Kat, you know what I mean? And a lot of my fans are always like, are you and Kat ever going to get together? And I'm like, man, I was in the beginning when we were shooting, and I was thinking, where's the storyline going to go? And Michelle Langston is a great actress. She's a Kiwi. She's very talented. But as soon as the Senior's story came back and we started touching on it, I was a Senior. You know what I mean? So you keep those paws to yourself.
I can imagine. I see the like in the spirit. I see as like, so Annubis, I want you to tell me right now. What was you and Kat doing when you thought I was dead? Don't play dumb now. You know what I'm talking about. Were you trying to hook up with Kat? You can tell me, Kruger.
I know. And all you see is the big dog, like. But yeah, I mean, listen. These are fans who are asking about that. They were like, "Was there attention? Did you feel?" And I was just like, "Listen, man. Work is work, buddy." Yeah, but it goes to show, like, there was always the cliffhanger in terms of the writing, where I really love the cliffhanger, because you always, he always clashed with the Rangers at some point. He's either challenged by red or challenged by blue, but he would always have Kat to confide in, Whereas when you look at Solaris Knight, he had nobody except for Jeannie, But Jeannie was more like watching us back on the different league. So I felt Doggy and Kat made a great balance, because she kind of played a mother figure for a while, And when he would snap at them, the man's, like I said, I based him on pattern. So when he come back, it's just imagine a soldier trying to make, teach his son some nice soft values and qualities, But all he knows is like a drill instructor. He's just like, he's very hard. So
yeah,
Kat was always came in with that second perspective to try to calm him, make him see that they were young, because he just expected so high. But I loved Doggy because he was just black and white. This is how you survive in this world. I'm not training you to go out. I'm training you to be like a soldier. Whereas Kat's like, no, but you can. To be a liberator, to be someone who's there, they've got to be firm. They've got to be human beings first, Because he's from a very hardened race of people, that would, And listen, man, when you think you're the last of your kind, when you're the last of your species, the weight of that is massive.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like, but I can imagine. You had a whole history that was taken from you, and then to find out that one, you're not the last of your kind, and that the person, the one that you've held this guilt and weight over is alive. Yeah,
it's kind of like Superman. Like Superman was like the last son of Krypton until he found out Supergirl was alive somewhere in the world and stuff like that.
No, I went to Daggeron then. So he found a girl.
Well, what would Daggeron be doing right now? Man, he was still young. Last I checked in with that fella. He was. You know what I did? I see him on the same path too, unless, and I hope the Disney writers are listening, that he actually starts off his own series. And man, where I left the character, I felt a lot of his question marks were being answered. Liambo was alive, and for me it was curious because I felt like Daggeron would move on from that storyline and just be like this lone wolf that goes on, because he never had a love. It wasn't a love story given to him. It was a matter of loyalty. He was like a loyal servant and soldier. And then to see Liambo, Donna, and Nick come together as mother, father, and son, it's like, he could be the uncle that hangs around, or I always felt he just went off into the sunset. Everybody else finds his purpose. Daggeron goes off and hangs out with Sergeant Silverback, right? And they start training cadets through there.
Right on.
Yeah, I forgot what that. All right.
Yeah, bro. I played Silverback as well. That's when I really got to go into my southern accent.
Oh yeah, Silverback.
That was it. And I had him hunched over, and we had prosthetics, the gorilla prosthetics, and I had him hunched, and I had this walk. It was mean. I loved it. I love doing physical theater, man. I love it. I love it.
I really enjoyed Sergeant Silverback. I really hoped that they would have brought him back in the comic book, but they didn't do that.
No, man. And I based him on Lee Ermey's drill instructor on Full Metal Jacket, bro.
Oh,
so that's why I gave it. Yeah, bro. Lee Ermey. You watch Full Metal Jacket, bro?
Yes, it's one of my favorite movies. I should not say that out loud. But
Full Metal Jacket. Oh, brother.
I shouldn't say that out loud because there's a lot of messed up things that happen in that movie, but I love Full Metal Jacket.
Bruh. But Lee Ermey he actually served in Vietnam, bro.
Yes.
And he brought some authentic. His performance was stunning, man. I saw that when I was at acting school, man, and I was just like, what a performance. And then you realize it's sometimes people that have had that experience in that environment or had that life experience, when they bring it to film and it's about that, they kill it. They can make it real because they've lived it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just somebody pretty coming up in there trying to pout throughout the whole scene. He was, and the themes of it, bro, how they were dehumanizing these young people to get ready for war. You know? So I took the elements of how hard he was, because you're going into battle. I can't mother you through this. You need a soldier to live. You know, and this is going to be a harsh terrain. And I remember when I was playing Silverback, and I saw the script, I was like, man, this guy's yelling at them. And then I was just like, and as an actor, that quick fix of you dig into your repertoire of movies where you see an energy that is close to it. You know, like that's for me just this is my process on how I want to get ready for a role in a short amount of time, bro. You know what I mean? So I studied a lot of soldier movies and then just went to his performance, man. And then that's why I was and on set, I was just drilling Chris and Brandon hard that like they both pulled me to the side and hey, lighter touch. Softer touch,
hey
bro.
man, take it easy.
Hey man, don't call me that, bro. And I'm like, good. You're feeling it. Because I went off script, right? And I was just.
So you just ad-libbed the whole scene.
Well, I did. There were times where I stuck to the script and we were just saying they're climbing across these wires and they were jogging past me, and I'll just drill them. And then I'll go off script from the script and just be in that energy, dude. I'll be connected. And I wouldn't be abusive in a way that's personal for them. I'm talking to their characters. So I'm staying in character, but I'm still drilling them. So they don't like it, bro. So when they came up to me, I'm like, hey, dog, don't call me that, man. I'll be like, sweet, bro, I won't. I'll call it something else, you know? I'll find a way, but I just keep drilling it. And the energy stays. When they're setting up a camera shot, so they break. And you might have given a great performance then, but if they're going to shoot it from another angle and you got to do it again, you've already, you know, that's why like it's a marathon. This is like you do these scenes, and when they say cut, you go back, you reset, get your mind and your energy, and like it's a skill. I'm always a student, bro. I'm always a student to this, so I stay open that way. Anyway.
Do you have any advice to any inspiring actors and actresses? We talked about how Hollywood is a cutthroat industry. We all know that, but do you have any advice to people who are trying to get into that industry?
Training can help, but some people I've seen, just like I said, man, that just know when your cup is half empty and when it's half full. Know how to apply yourself. Know who you are. Be very grounded in who you are. Don't have any false perceptions of yourself, you know. But appreciate and love yourself and all the qualities that make you you. I think, man, being nice goes a long way, but not brown nosing. Be courteous in your professionalism. Like, surround yourself with positive people. Have the right people in your circles where your energies are. You know, I think in the past year I've surrounded myself with good people, man. I keep respectful, loving, loyal people around who are supportive. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't owe people anything except for maybe your parents because of the time and effort they put into it. People that, that value you, you reciprocate that. You know what I mean? Like keep the right people around you in this industry, because you could catch yourself being something you're not to try to impress, and it'll get you. It'll get you, man. Like I've seen this industry on a lot of levels. I think, yeah, and be prepared. Always be prepared. If you're already a professional actor, you've been doing commercials and stuff, like learn the lines. Always be prepared. Find different ways of doing the same script. All right, and be prepared to be directed. Nothing is personal. Nothing's personal. You have to have tough skin in this industry. All right, can't be naive in this industry. So, yeah, be prepared and man, lead with love. Be cool to people, man. And if you don't like their energy, no one's forcing you to be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's worked for me in some way, and sometimes it hasn't. Like I get a lot of young people asking for direction and stuff, and if they're savvy enough to use Google, then they'll know what the process is. You know, they can Google agencies to look at, put a profile together, but be real about your circumstance. You know, don't be in fantasy land up there. Be on the ground that you walk on, and yeah, man. I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's really good, man. Really great advice. Quite a heart. So John, one last question before we go to the fans. Now, if you can,
go to the fans. Are they going to be asking questions?
Yeah, they're actually ask questions right now.
Yeah, we got some questions already.
Wow, maybe I should have spruced up a bit, eh? So good, yeah, bro. Little be gentle.
Yeah.
Be gentle.
The last question is: if any upcoming projects that you can, or you can tell anyone?
Future projects. I've got 2 projects that are coming out soon. They've all been pushed back because the COVID situation hit a lot of the industry bad. It hit my peers and my brethren bad. Lately, I've just, I know that Avatar's back up on shooting again. So, yeah, a lot of my projects that I was promoting a movie, bro. Baron Daughter that I shot last year, and then it had to get shut down. We had to shut promoting that down. I've got another movie, Savages, coming out. I was part of that. That's coming out, I think, September. And Paper Champions that I shot with a great Australian contingent that I can't wait for the world to see. And then what I'm working on is another movie that I don't know if I'm allowed to mention it yet.
No, no pressure.
Yeah. But I'll be getting ready for that soon. But yeah, got stuff in the pipeline.
So guys,
also next year, I'll be hooking up with you guys, and we'll be doing a live televised one from Cali, baby.
California.
West you.
West Coast is the best coast. Let's keep it
I love Cali, baby. I love Cali, man. Through my career, I've stayed in like Louisiana, New Orleans, bro, New York. Oh, America, man. Yeah, man. Can't wait. Cali, so I'll be seeing you guys there. If you guys are around, come to MorphinCon. It's going to be my first experience. Come and help me out, bro. Help a brother out, man.
We're in California, love.
Hell yeah. So, all right.
We're now question section and comment section of this interview. So, John, are you ready to say hi to your fans online?
Yeah. Tell my mom I love her. She the only one who's there. my mom, my sister, and my son, and my wife. Thank you, Mom. I love you. That's sweet, bro.
I love you.
Before we start, so we want to do special shout outs to Ranger Stop and for helping us book this interview, and to the person responsible is our good friend and the web marketer. What's up, man?
Hey, Brendan.
Hey, B.
You're muted, bro.
I'm muted. Here I am.
There you go.
Here we are. So, are you asking the question, Brandon?
No, well, no, I could ask a question, but they've got the comments coming through. They just
I just saw you pop up, and I was like, oh, Brandon's the first.
I'll get the
fake here, Brandon.
one. All right, here's a fake question for you. So, so what was the dynamic like shifting from working with someone like Brandon J. McLaren to our good old friend Firas Tirani?
Oh yeah, the Red Rangers. So Brandon had his energy and Brandon had swag, you know. And he was like he was the lone rider that just come into town. You know what I mean? Just seeking direction and the way. And Brandon's like, man, like I said, Brandon's got swag, man. It was cool. Brandon was cool. And then to have him come in, I could naturally see him already taking up the mantle because he had a lot of changes. His character had a lot of changes to go through before before humility and leadership settled in for him to be the Red Ranger. And I loved it that they had a black Red Ranger. Like I said, man, with the colors and the diversity of the races, beautiful. The unity within diversity.
So Biblical Substance, what someone say, you play both of my favorite Rangers. I think you did a good job as Shadow Raider and Solaris Knight. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you, Bibo. My man, appreciate that.
Ken Brown says, hey, Mystic Force and SPD team up not happening is today the biggest waste opportunity. Team up practically writes itself. Oh.
Thanks, Ken.
And magic.
Yeah, it could have been.
So, I mean, it just feels like they're two different period pieces if you think about it. Like one's from a Renaissance time or medieval time in a way. If you think about magic, and then you had science, which I think SPD was kind of futuristic. So yeah, I don't know how they would make that happen, but I tell you what, if they can make a movie about sharks in a bloody tornado, they can do it if they wanted to. All right.
Hasbro, listen, Hasbro, we can give you a great idea for just as a reunion because SPD, forgot, SPD turns 15 this year.
Wow.
It'd be great to see Power Rangers SPD versus Mystic Force as a one-time 60-minute movie. Just saying, wow. Hasbro, cut my check, please. I'll take my 10%.
Wow. And if they can't, then they can make an animated series on it, and I'll voice that as well.
Awesome.
Look at that. Options all over the place, this guy.
Ryan Baku says, it's Morphin time and if I protect you. I protect you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Appreciate that, Ryan.
Jen,
Ryan.
hello.
Hi, Jen.
Genesis, how are you, madam? Thank you.
And Kent's asking, can you act as Steve Kruger and Daggeron with me? Oh my god.
You got to pay for that. Thank you, brother. Ken, bro. Oh yeah. Monkey doesn't dance because you want him to, buddy. You got to pay for that.
Joseph Edwards says, what's up, man?
Well, Joseph.
What's up, Joe? Thank you, bro.
Someone says, what was Kila like?
Oh, she, because she's not here, the everlasting memory I have of her is her soft, loving, charismatic, nurturing way that she had with us, you know? We were all young, and the Rangers were especially young, and she just brought this calm. She was a beautiful soul, and yeah. Rest in peace, man. She was beautiful. A beautiful soul. No ego, man. She was solid, bro.
David Rickman says, hi, John. It was great meeting you. I'd read your stuff. You're the man.
You're the man too, David. Thank you for buying the signed picture I gave you. You're the man, David.
Ken Lam just gives you like
lightning bolt.
So.
That's thank you, man. Thank you.
Timmy Dacus says, hi, John Tui from Miami, Florida. I talked to you last FridayCon at the Legendary Virtual RangerCon.
Oh, Timmy.
Hey, Tim.
How are you, brother? It was good to see you. Thank you for supporting. I appreciated our time. I just felt like we didn't have enough. And man. Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Josh Johnson, who did you like play more, Doggy Kruger or Solaris Knight?
I get that question a lot, man. Like I said, I think when I played Solaris Knight, I was freer, so I got to really explore my my acting range, man, and how I was seeing, like, you know, in terms of playing the character. What I learned from Doggy Kruger was how to deal with hardship. One thing I didn't say in the last, when we were talking before, was I was claustrophobic. That thing on me was like suffocating, but the money was good. I just had a baby. You don't go on your first project and complain. You know, you don't go on your first major thing. You show them that you're reliable, you're professional, you can do it. So I appreciated going through that because it taught me a lot about myself. So I would have to say it was a comfort playing Solaris. I enjoyed it. I got to cater to my ego as an actor of being able to perform, but I think my heart with Doggy and the hardships of playing him and going through all of the ordeals, I liked him more because I was baptized in the fire. Yeah.
Definitely. Luis is saying you're the man. Luis is for.
What's up, Luis?
Thank you, Luis.
Mr. Coin Master.
My man, Mr. Yeah, thanks, bro. Thanks for that.
Ortega. Hey, John. Regards from Peru. I was wondering if you kept any souvenir from your characters or from the set from Mystic Force or SP. If not, what would you have loved to keep for yourself?
Shouts to Peru. Much appreciate it.
Man. Hola. I kept I've got like a deck. I've got a Doggy Kruger, the first, and it was massive. The first, like, when I was there, they gave me they were going through the experiments of how to make the doll. So I had the first original one, which was a big one. It's in my closet, and it's still in the box. So last night I had just a normal toy, but my daughter ate you know how this thing got lost. She chewed that off, man. But I still got him, and I think she worked on the arm as well, because she was teething at the time. So I got this half-eaten Daggeron, but I still keep it because it's the original. And when she turns 21, I'm gonna remind her of the damage that she's done to my. But I've got that, and then you know what? I wore it last time when I was talking to these boys last week, and it was we had these robes, which was like a Jedi Sith robe with a massive hoodie, and it's black, and I still got that one from SPD, and I wear that when it's cold. It's my robe. It's memorabilia.
Ryan Shining Hopper Thomas says, "Hey John, did you have to watch your Sentai of Deca Ranger and Mega Ranger before you got to roll?"
No, man, I didn't. I saw the season before mine, and then I watched probably snippets of all the. They wanted me to see the world that I was going into, you know, because if we just watched Dino or we watched a lot, like they all had their own different energy. And then they wanted me to learn the morph because they were teaching me the morph sequence. So in terms of looking out, learning about the Ranger world, I watched the original, the original Rangers, and then I started watching snippets of different seasons. And I got an idea straight away. But like I said, man, my world was different because I was going into a massive costume, and they had no freedom whereas the others did. So I had to adjust the way I walked. He was very stiff, man. You know how stiff it is to have those pads on and then try to act, if the word was spoken here, to turn the whole costume, the coat and the ski boots, swivel and make it look natural, hit your marks that you couldn't see. I couldn't see marks, so they had to put sandbags on the floor. So I'd be feeling with my feet, and then when my foot hit the bag, I needed to stop there and deliver the line, and then Kat would say something and I'll pivot this way. So through, like I said, man, I was baptized in fire. And I learned a lot about myself, like the physicality of how to play him, and then be consistent with the performance. So.
Excellent.
I forgot what the bloody question was, bro.
Oh my god.
I hope I answered something. I hope you got something. Cheers, bro.
It was memorabilia.
Yeah, memorabilia. Michael Press says, "You're the goat. You're the greatest of all time."
I would have loved to jack that massive head, though, bro. I would have loved to, because there was the stunt head, which was like rubbery, but that one, man, I want. Just there are a lot of things from a lot of movies. Been lucky to work on that. I wish I had brought back home, bro.
Mikey says, "You're the goat. You're the greatest of all time." Aw, man.
Mikey, thank you. Try telling my family that.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. What was your favorite Zord of yours in Delta Command Megazord? Wow. I can't choose, man. I like them all. Everybody wants. They always compare. Have you noticed? They always compare Jordan and LeBron. Like they always want it, and I can't. Man. I can't. That's Solaris. It's the same question with Solaris and Doggy Kruger. I can't choose. I just brush across everything equally, man.
I love both. I love both Zords. I have a soft spot for when your command center is just a giant Megazord. That's my soft spot right there, though.
Bro, because that's like the Megatron, dude. I grew up watching Thundercats and all that, and like, and it's you know what it is? It's the size of the robot, man. And then they move together. It's that one time you see all Rangers trying to work together in battle, bro.
Right. It's like Devastator from Transformers. How Devastator was like 3 different Decepticons and turned into a big Decepticon. That's what it reminded me of.
Size, and explosions, bro. Better. It's always bigger. It's always better, bigger. Hey, bro.
Yes.
Ryan Shaw probably says, hey, Ryan, hey, Leonard, and hey, John, how much love to you guys. You're the best. Keep up the good work you guys do. Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
These guys are awesome, man. Thank you. And I love that like, they just let me take over, bro. I asked one question and I just go down the list that was already given to me.
I'm like, hey man, Ryan, like, listen, Ryan, you've been replaced. John Tui is now the newest member of
you guys know,
he
man,
got it.
That's very courteous of you guys. Just let him roll. Let him roll, bro. A lot of different interviews I know, they love the sound of their own.
All right, I got a correction and a question. So the title that you were looking for earlier, Leonard, was Born to Dance.
Oh yeah, Born to Dance.
Yeah, Ryan.
I have not even heard of this, and John, I feel
because when he said Last Dance, if you go back to the replay of YouTube, you'll see my face go. I was on Last Dance.
They're about to meme me. Listen. Everyone's starting to make me a meme, so this is just adding on to it. So it's fine.
John, we actually made a joke.
Don't do it, Ryan.
This guy likes to dance, so it was him dancing.
No, I don't. That is not John. That is not me. That is fake news.
I see you popping there, boy. With a little Magnum PI pistol right there. Nah, that was a Ranger. Nice, boy.
What is Born to Dance, and what was your role on that? I've never even heard.
So I Born to Dance is a it's a dance movie. It's like what's the franchise, man? Dance franchise. It was on this Step It Up.
Just Dance.
It's the Kiwi Step It Up, bro. Straight up. And I play a military father in that who doesn't want his son pursuing dance. He wants him to get a real job, type of thing. So, and then my journey, that's what my character does. So he's brought up in this military family. My son wants to pursue dancing. He was played by Tia, who's a great actor. A lot of cute Paris Goebel choreographed dance scenes in there. And she's massive. She's massive. She's from my neighborhood, Rewa.
Yep. Ryan, I expect you to know all the dances from his movie, okay?
That'll be.
What happened to the research? You guys are going to blow up and get more customers. You need to get your research stick. Joe Rogan has just signed $100 million contract for this podcast.
Yeah, I heard. I love Joe Rogan. I've listened. I binged a lot of his episodes during my last summer when I was just going to Santa Monica, driving down there for work and stuff.
Yeah, bro. He deserves the success he gets. He's giving a platform. His brush is touching on everybody, man. You know what I mean? I watch Vlad TV. Why are we promoting these guys? We need to keep promoting this one. we just want to get that million. We want to get those millions, boys. Like I said, hey, we'll start planning when I get to Cali, bro. We start planning.
Oh, definitely.
Dan.
Oh, for sure.
Larry Nibble says, "Hey guys, what's up, man?"
What's up, Larry?
What's up, Larry?
Bumping Commodore says, "I also wish they adapted the Mystic Force versus SPD crossover because of the scene where Doggy and Volsword had that sword fight. Now that's why I call it an actual dog fight. Oh my god!
Wow! Keep that, man. Wow, yeah. I did some sword work in Daggeron. When it came to Doggy Kruger, there was one where I wore the stunt head, which was a rubber head, and I had to swing the sword, but most of my fighting was, and it was awesome because when I'd seen the stuntmen and what they could do, like that boy in you wants to do a sword fight, man. That boy in you wants to, That's why, some of the movies when I get a chance to do action, I go in because it just takes you back to, I used to have a stick and it was a gun for me, and my days were so. Yeah, we use our imagination a lot. You can't do that now. Like, you can't just go out and stand in the corner with a stick and you're like, bang, bang, I got you. It's like, oh man, now it's Nerf. You gotta have a Nerf. Like, it's
Nerf or nothing.
Bro, we used to play tag ball, man, and it was like whatever ball it was, man. If it was a friggin' ball, then it's a cricket ball. And they're hard as rock, You have to take it like a soldier, bro. And you ran even harder. It's better with a tennis ball.
Definitely. Kazar Brown, what's up, man? I'm a girl. I love him as Kruger. Aw, definitely.
Thank you. I watched a couple of episodes before I came on here just to refresh myself with that, and a lot of memories came back. Thank you for that. What was another question?
Kevin Siki says, "Oh my God, what's up, John? You're still my favorite mentor."
Is that Kev? Is that Kev Star? Yeah. What's up, Kev? Thank you, man. Thank you for that. Some of these fans, they come up and I think it's you, Kev, and you were like, you wanted me to work with you on your morph. And Kev shot a morph at range, and it was awesome. The energy. A lot of people say, what does it take to be a ranger, power ranger? And I say, in terms of the acting, energy, man, everything is heightened. And just 100%. You know what I mean? So that world it's epic. We can't. Everything is epic. Everything is heightened. The energy. When I got there, and I remember doing the stunt fighting with Koichi, and he was telling me to do back kicks and this and that. Because I love Bruce Lee, I bounced around a lot. And I was trying to show off and let him know you've hired the right guy. He's here. Let me give you what you paid for. So I was just doing my Bruce Lee's whapping, just ducking, doing some kicks, jumping back, and he was like, no, this is the way we want you to do it. And I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. And it was stylistic, and it was just, So by the time, because they had the match, the universe, you see the fight scenes are epic. Like, it was the first time I've seen cable work, pad work, and how much I had a huge respect for stuntmen because of Power Rangers. Because it's so based on, and these men are working in these conditions. People don't know, man, what it takes to just keep doing the same thing over, and they make the action come out of the screen and give us actors, make us look good pretty much, because as soon as I'm off, bro, and cut. What's for lunch today? Yeah, all right. And then this talented limber action stunty from Japan comes in, and I had a brother that was playing me Japanese brother that was playing me was Hirokazu, man, and he was the man. And I looked at him and I'm like, man, can somebody pad him up because he looks a bit too lean. I need his shoulders and his chest. Can we just pad him up? Because as soon as I morphed, I look leaner, Look, here's a question before it comes out. People are saying, how did I fit the dog head into the thing? And
what's funny is someone did ask that question. I'm actually looking at the comments right now. It's like Ken is asking, how did that snout fit in the Ranger helmet?
I know. It's the same way the cat fits in the lamp. You know what I mean? In that world, I was like, why are people asking me, man?
I have an answer for that.
Dimensions?
I have an answer. It's Power Rangers. We don't question how a dog's snout is put into a helmet. You just accept it.
Brother.
You keep going.
Logic.
Exactly, man. It's like Robert De Niro. It's what it is.
I mean, dude,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Season, they've got a robot with a huge head up like this and huge out like this, and then he somehow morphs into a little helmet. Like,
I know, but I mean, in Mystic Force, you can't question the science there because it's magic.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan has a really good question. What was it like working with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Hobbs and Shaw?
I was about to ask that too. He beat me to it.
Humbling, bro. The man is a phenomenal specimen. He's a phenomenal human being, and he gave this 40-year-old Kiwi actor a role of a lifetime to play his brother, bro. I never thought that I'd ever. I had dreams when I was at drama school of certain people that I wanted to work with, and Dwayne Johnson being our most successful Polynesian face and of heritage out there. He was, yeah. Look at his career, man. Look at his career. The man is he's a specimen. And what was it like? Awesome. He was polite. He was friendly on set. He made everyone feel welcome. And for all of the big actors that I've been around in my career and I've seen work, like he's the alpha, man. Like no one had topped Rihanna for me just because she was that pop icon. I'd seen paparazzi following us on boats. I've seen paparazzi cramming cameras into certain situations to try to take snaps. Dwayne is another kettle of fish. Like, and I grew up in the 80s, so Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, they were big action stars. DJs pushed it. When you work with him, you can call him DJ. So he's pushed the envelope different. Awesome. Humbling experience and highlight of my career.
Keeman Moore says, "Hey guys, what's up, man?"
What's up, Keeman?
Dave Floppy wants to know top bunk or bottom bunk, and who's your favorite helmet maker?
Who's
Hey, that's my guy. David Plavy's my guy. He made it possible for me to come out, and I wasn't, bro. And like I was snoring, man. They didn't know I was the Thunder God when I got there, bro. And I got a sleep apnea machine, but it wasn't working well. I just wanted to say that too, Dave. It didn't work well, so I was calling all the wolves, man. But I snore, guys. I snore, bro. Yeah, David. Yeah, thank you for taking the bottom bunk for me.
Guess who we have here? Our special boss and Ranger Stop founder, Michael Vignani. What's up, man?
What's up, Mike?
Mike's the man.
Mikey, what's up?
The man himself, Mikey.
Oh, bro, thanks for the opportunity, Mike. Crazy. I will never forget the late night panel. It was so funny.
Michael Broggan says hello from Henshin Gate. What's up, man?
What's up, Henshin Gate? How you guys doing?
Henshin Gate in the house. What's up, Mike? Thanks, brother.
Good. Oh, Dave, really?
Yes.
Do you think my tractors? Do I make you horny, baby? That's my Polynesian Austin Powers there. You're the man, B. You're the man, David. Give my love to Katie too, bro. Thanks for hooking up last week.
He did say it. No, it's not you, James King. It is
Dave makes. He's gonna like this. David Blabby makes the best Power Ranger helmets. So yeah, give him a bell, would you?
Rosette Ferreira wants to give you some love.
It's Rosette.
Hey, Rosette, how you doing?
Oh, Rosetta. Hey, Queen. How are you? Can't wait to see you again.
There you go. Just bounced. Oh, what happened? You see it?
Who was that? There was a question.
The next one.
No.
She's saying hi.
Savannah says, how did it feel to go from suit acting to normal acting into Mystic Force? Anything you learned being Doggy that you took into Solaris Night character?
Well, I didn't. I tried to make the two different. I've known. For me, the mentorship was the same, man, except the storyline. So I had to incorporate my storyline. For example, Doggy Krueger, love and hurt and guilt, and then he held that with his Rangers. He was firm. He was hard. I based him on General Patton. Daggeron was broken from loyalty. Like he thought he let someone down. And then it was, he was like, I thought Daggeron was more an assistant friend to Udonna in terms of looking after these cadets, these young Power Rangers, you know? And I had a good bond with Ferris, who's a personal friend of mine now. I thought they were different, but very similar in terms of their roles, you know?
Steven Martinez
I have no idea. Sorry.
Sorry, John.
Nucleus.
Steve Mercy says, you were here to range yourself last November. When will we seeing you again? Yes.
Steve, I think next year, the next one. I had such a great time there. And I put on weight at Popeye's Chicken every day. So I'm willing to go back and put myself through that again. No. I can't wait to see you guys. You guys are awesome to be around. And I appreciate you guys. Power Ranger fans are the best, man. Another story, and I told you guys last week, I was at the Hobbs and Shaw premiere in LA, and there were hundreds of people standing up in this heat, man, waiting, and I'd come in on my, come in to get dropped off at the front of the premiere. And as I hopped up, I threw out all the screaming, and it wasn't for me, it was for Dwayne, but I heard Power Rangers, John Tui, Power Rangers. And I was just like, I'd just beeline straight to them, got their posters and signed in. It was touching for me. That's when I knew I was part of something big, you know? Like for all the franchises I've been part of, like, and I've been grateful to work, like I said, the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Solo, part of the Star Wars franchise, Hobbs and Shaw, part of the Fast and Furious franchise. Power Rangers have been the most consistent and the most passionate. Well, that's my experience, so I'll earn that. And I'm grateful, man. Straight up.
Martha B. Stab saying, watch the eyeballs, Martha.
Googly eyes. Martha, no.
Oh, she has a crush on you.
Oh, thank you, Martha. Thank you for that. The eyes mean that I look and sound a certain way, buddy.
Oh, it was actually her birthday. Hey,
thanks for that.
It was actually Martha's birthday yesterday. Can you give her happy birthday? Shout out.
Happy birthday, Martha, and I hope you are spoilt, rotten on your birthday.
Happy birthday, Martha.
Happy birthday, Martha. Thank you for tuning in. This is a great channel.
Dusty Pre-Giant says, man, I can't wait to meet you. I have Commander Kruger game piece and game card for the grid. You're so awesome. Thank you for everything. You're one of my favorite Rangers as Solaris Knight.
Thank you, bro. A lot of people ask me about the game, and I'm like, man, I would have loved to voice it if they had contacted me. Like, I do voice work in New Zealand, like professionally. Like, I have to sound different, man. This is what you're hearing is me. It's just me. So, but I have other hats, and man, I would have loved to voice Doggy Kruger in that game. So, DreamWorks, holla.
All right, so I got a question / something I want to talk about. So, Hobbs and Shaw, right?
Yeah.
My wife and I saw the movie, and unbiased, not because I'm a huge Fast and Furious franchise fan. We were really disappointed in the movie, except for your scene, your block of time, simply because that was the only good part of the movie. Like, in my opinion, shooting that scene, which it oddly goes from night to day, but was that a long night to shoot? It was a massive night, pretty much 2, and then we had to come back and shoot a second night. But it was a whole night, bro. And you could tell us we were rushing for time because it was sunrise was coming. And on movie sets, man, time is money, dude. Like, they throw money at these things. You gotta be on the ready. You gotta be on the ready, man. Like, as soon as it happens, it's just, you're in there. The makeup, costume, boom, you're on set. No one cares. Just do the job you've been paid for to do. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. You felt that way?
Well, right. the way that we look at that was, it's kind of like Nutty Professor and the Clumps, man. Like, they took the best part of the Nutty Professor, which was the Clumps, and they made an entire sequel of it. They need to do that with you and your brothers. Make a Hobbs Brothers movie. That was the best part.
Well, I knew what I was being part of. I knew what I did as an actor. The fact that you were on a cast call sheet, Dwayne Johnson, Roman Reigns, like, I am grateful for that opportunity. In terms of the franchise, I have no say on it, bro, because I'm just a grateful person to be working. The formula for me, the way they shot Hobbs and Shaw, it stayed within the parameters of Fast and Furious. I felt the point of difference that Hobbs and Shaw had was its relationship to the origins of Hobbs. You got to remember, in terms, in order for a franchise to keep going, man, and to keep building its legs is to constantly keep writing these things. I thought it's a massive move, and you know what? It became successful because the weight that Statham and Dwayne both brought to it, taking it away from the franchise. If you take it back to its essence, I see how Hobbs and Shaw is a car movie though, because I remember the first time I've gone to the theaters and saw the first one. You know, like I saw Rocky, like I saw the first Godfather, like I saw Fellowship of the Ring, like I saw the first Star Wars. Well, I'd rather call it Force, you know, Star Wars 4, and how I felt in the 70s when I saw that as a kid in the 80s, you know what I mean? Like, I can see, but until, you know, reinventing yourself in a franchise is not easy, bro. And then I heard about the beef, you know, like all that stuff that happened between these two giants, man. But it's Dwayne's time, bro. And I was just grateful to be part of it. I don't question the hand that feeds me, if you know what I'm saying? Like, if people ask me, what did I think of the writing, or you know, what all the effects, or the storyline, or the plot? I'm like, my man, you ain't gonna get it from me, partner. I was just, man, that chick helped my family out, bro. Huh?
I said, simply put, from our angle, from a fan standpoint, you made
absolutely. Well, listen, man. Like I said, I don't think Dwayne's gonna want to sign anything you give him from now on, but I will. I got you, baby. I got you, man. You're a gangster, bro. You're a gangster. Is this gonna be on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah. It's gonna be YouTube.
YouTube player. Don't worry. We'll edit it out. It's okay.
We'll edit it out.
Hey, now listen, man. I'll stand by what I said.
Okay.
Can't take it too serious, but all good. I'm just worried about Brandon.
Hey, I'm behind a second no matter what. I'll see it.
But listen, when I look at the criticisms, you can tell the fans that are passionate about the franchise because they stick to the originators of the franchise. You know what I mean? But from my standpoint, bro, I think they're gonna have another part. They're gonna have a part 2, though.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna shoot a part 2. I've heard whispers, but I ain't jumping up and down, man, until it's on paper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I know I think I can't talk about the parameters of my contract, but man. I hope my character comes back in part 2. And thank you for your kind words, Brandon. I'll buy you some Popeye's chicken when I hook up with you again, brother.
So we do have like 6-7 minutes left, so we might go a lot air. So we'll go. Dave Bobby says, any advice for auditioning for a big role for Power Rangers?
For a comic role, so come again. What was the question? Any advice for auditioning for a comedic role on Power Rangers? Height, energy. Just think. If you're doing comedy, like everything has to be theatrical, much more heightened. You know, the reactions are big, the timing's bigger. You got to go. Think Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, man. The way Jim Carrey, with his overacting antics, you know, and in that world it'll suit. But also, if you go to audition for Power Rangers, you have to investigate in what's gone before you, and then don't just give them something they've seen. Try to find a point of difference, something different, quirky, an accent or this. You know what I mean? Like don't choose the obvious, because you're as fast as a skip button on an audition room.
Definitely. Yeah. Morphin Toy says, hello, John. Hugs from all the West from Morphin Toys. What's up, man?
What's up, Morphin Toys?
What's up, Morphin Toys? Hook it up.
Right?
Hook it up.
David's saying, let's do some Hobbs costumes.
Man, I wish those cars were amazing. That's the one thing that Hobbs and Shaw did deliver on, was the cars, right? Like going from the off-road to the trucks, and then the ones they used in Europe. Nice. And I know bugger all about cars. You know, I'm not a car person.
Everett Sansa says, magical source, Mystic Force. Right on.
What's up, Ed?
Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, Ed.
Let's see. Tony, hold up. Tony is this inspired? Used to do back to back.
Wow, I mean, being part of season 1 was already inspiring. I didn't need inspiration for season 2. I wanted to be part of it. I auditioned for it. I lost weight for it. Being part of the Ranger world was inspiration enough, because I thought it was my legacy of being part of something special, being part of history. It wasn't like any normal TV series. It's been going on for like what, 30-something years now?
27, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 27 years now. Power Rangers been on there.
Massive. So
Yeah.
it's just massive. Like everyone knows what a Power Ranger is, even if they don't watch the series. It's quoted in movies, man. It's referred to out there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't need any inspiration. I just wanted to be part of this. Yeah.
It's Power Rangers is now part of that cultural that pop culture zeitgeist. So whenever you talk about something from the 90s, Power Rangers is one of the first things to come up outside like X-Men, Batman, Spider-Man, all that stuff. So,
and if you look at all the hero movies, I mean, before Marvel, there is an ensemble of struggling people that unite to overcome their own insecurities to battle a force that is negative. You understand? Then they need leadership. Then they've got the themes are epic in its proportion in terms of the hero movie, man. And everyone can relate to it. It's massive.
Definitely.
That's another pearl. Dropped another pearl, baby. No.
A few more. Larry Newell says, John, if you had your own Power Rangers rugby team, which Rangers would be on your team?
Wow. Man, I'd have all the Rangers in both seasons.
Right on.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. That'll. So I already had the pads on for Doggy Krueger, so I'll be a frontline defensive, bro. If you run it straight, bro, you get smashed. I read Doggy will put on some mean hits, bro. Because he shoulders and then just launch down like a dog and shoulder.
There goes your hip. He goes your hip
That's
bone.
it, bro.
Your
That's
torn
it,
ACL, MCL.
we reshuffle your. That's it, bro. He shook you up. He reshuffled your whole bone structure.
Wait, John, real quick. How many starting players are on a rugby team?
Rugby 15, rugby league 13. So yeah, bro.
Okay.
And it's no we don't wear helmets or pads. 40 minutes a half non-stop. So you learn about your cardiovascular fitness.
Ooh, okay.
I love football. The impact on football is much greater because of the explosiveness. You're wearing the pads and the helmet, so you throw yourself into harm's way, not thinking about the repercussions of it directly. In rugby, when you're tackling, you can't dive in like you do with football. You break your neck. So you're launching. It's just body on body, and I'll send you guys some stuff. But
please,
you'll be after 10 minutes of running non-stop at full pace, and putting your body in harm's way with 120 kilo men. You learn about yourself straight away. You're frothing at the mouth, trying to breathe, trying to get up, trying to not get smashed. It's like the last gladiatorial arena, man. I love it. I grew up playing it. My kids will play rugby league. Even my daughter, she's not playing now because the boys at 12 and 13, they start to they're a bit bigger and faster. So she's not going to be playing.
Excuse me. Sorry. We'll do two more. So Dave's asking, what would you would you ever take another role besides voiceover acting for Power Rangers?
I've had a few offers, and I've I'd like to be part of that world, but it's got to match my needs and my time, if that makes any sense. And definitely. Of course I would, if there's a bigger role. Like I've got a certain sound, and I can do accents, but like I said, man, I've got to pay for that.
Sorry,
bro. It's the world we live in, man. Let's have some what? Popeye's chicken. Who is it? Yeah, man, it sucks, dude. It sucks.
One more.
I'd seen the hype, and I'd put that down to like a 5 or 6 piece pack.
Yes. So one more. Let's do one. And the last person goes to Reset. Any fun quarantine stories?
Man, my quarantine stories are in sections. So like the first week, as soon as we found out we're in lockdown, it was just like, man, I was kind of fearful for my family, and you know what I mean. Like it was I haven't felt the shook up since 9/11, man. Like, on a global scale, in terms of like, this is a massive change. We're part of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my quarantine stories was just how I shut it down, man. I watched social media, but I didn't jump on it too much. Like, I just wanted to keep my focus on my family and be here for them. Like, I've moved back to the outskirts of my old neighborhood, and I felt for my neighborhood because a lot of families really struggled, man. So I couldn't post me having too many happy stories or anything like that because I felt for my neighborhood, like I don't want to. That's why when these celebrities all started jumping on and complaining from their mansions, I was sitting there like, really? So like, you only want to touch your fans when you miss the attention they give you. Like, stand for something. And we're seeing it now around the world. The youth are speaking, and I am in awe of them, which is great times. I don't see it as bad. I see it as healing, and we moving forward as a species on this planet.
Definitely.
We have to be accountable for it.
Definitely. Oh, sorry, Mattel just got you done. We actually almost out of time. So again, thank you guys for being a special interview, and thank you to Mr. John Tui for being our special guest. First live interview Power Ranger related. What's up? Thank you,
bro. So I can watch this. On YouTube and cringe it myself for an hour and 40 minutes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Over and over.
It'll be on Facebook first on our Facebook page, but we'll do that. We'll upload YouTube in maybe tomorrow or Sunday.
Yeah, we dumb it down. We dumb it down for the YouTube crowd. Like, this is like what, over an hour. We'll try to get down to like maybe 40 minutes. So,
bro, thank you for your time, gentlemen.
You can cut the rock stuff out, and he won't hate it.
Not because the way they're gonna post it will be like, Brandon, this is Dwayne Johnson.
The funny thing is,
I'm messing with you, man. I got your back, bro. All good.
I'm rooting for a Hobbs movie. The one that should be mad at me is Jason Statham.
Oh.
Well, yeah. I got stories, but that's for the next podcast. Because you gotta work for it. You gotta work for it, gentlemen. But it's just sorry.
Sorry, no, John, go ahead.
I was gonna say, now that I've said that I'll be at Power Morphicon, we'll start planting some seeds and have a little chat. Then we'll do a live podcast there.
Maybe
absolutely, yeah.
Take the camera around, and I'll be the host, man. And I'll go and just target. We'll go target some of the Rangers. We won't prank them, but we'll go.
We might see you before then. We'll see.
Yeah,
Scott.
It's a maybe.
Yeah, he's trying to get me over.
It's a maybe.
We're trying to give him a push. Scott Zillner, John Tui wants.
He wants to, yeah. So, yeah.
I can't wait.
Someone clip this and send it to Mr. Scott Zillner. He's a homie of ours, but please let him know, like, hey, get John to do a live podcast. Just
bro, Scott's the man. Scott, thank you for reaching out, Scott and Realm. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see the extended family and this trip of self-discovery as an actor, part of one of the biggest franchises on the planet and still going. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait.
Definitely. Oh, before we leave, Brittany Mawson says, thank you guys so much. We love you, Brittany.
Thank you, Brittany. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you very much.
And one more, Aiden McCarty says, may the power protect you. May the power protect you, man.
Thank you, Aiden. I need that protection.
So before we go, John, where can you find you on social media?
I've only got a Instagram account out there, and it's John Tui 1. That's it. I'm not on Facebook or anything else. I shut it down a few years ago. There's just too much clutter in there, and man. Like I said, surround yourself with the right people, and you're bloody awesome. Don't forget that. Thank you, fellas.
And Brandon, where can you find you, man? Or thank you for helping things up. Where can you find you?
Yeah, you. And if you want to get a hold of me, contact Brandon.
You can find me on Instagram at Brandon Benfield 43, Twitter Benfield 43, and Facebook just Brandon J Benfield.
Awesome.
Brandon usually takes care of me. Thank you, fellas. great questions. Thank you for the opportunity to talk your ears off, and stay well. Fight the power. No justice, no peace. Love you guys. Love you, America. Hang in there.
Thank
We're
you.
watching. You're our leaders. Thank you.
And Fox, where can I find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, @Reckless_Fox, YouTube, Reckless_Fox, and you can find all my latest game content on Twitch.tv/RecklessFox. If you want more info, you want more content, myself, Jen, and our boy TRZ, we do a video game podcast every weekend, the Scrub Game Podcast. Find us on SoundCloud.com/ScrubClubGaming. That's SoundCloud.com/ScrubClubGaming. Ryan, where can I find you, good sir?
You can find me at That's for Instagram 247 at at Morphin Network on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And thank you guys so much. So as we go, good day. Bye guys.
See you guys.